what about X factor? So when we talk about players that really have to, maybe it's Justin Jefferson that has to have an encore performance against the Giants. Who are players that you look at and you're like, okay, this dude needs to show out against the Giants?
I say Duke Shelley of
Yep.
that cornerback. Last 4 games, he has done remarkably well.
He has.
I think he's PF. Was that PPF grade? Is like 86.9 or something like that.
Yeah, he's looking really good.
Yeah, which is like I think a top 5 quarterback in the last 4 games in terms of shutdown performance. He has to step up and have a great game like he did the last 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
And I say Madison, the X factor. Yeah, I love Cook. Don't get me wrong, but Madison has that guy where, he knows it's his last year of his rookie contract. He wants to be a starter.
Yep, he deserves. He's a good player. Like he's a good running back. That should play anywhere.
Yeah, and to me, the Vikings should use him more, along with KJ Osborne, Hawkinson, of course, and that receiver Naylor.
Yep, Jalen Naylor. Yeah, he's another guy that I'm really excited about. And that's the thing. I hate to say this, Thomas, but we know as Vikings fans, some things just come to an end. Some good things come to an end, like the end of Adrian Peterson's career. We saw that Randy Moss retired and all that. I fear that Adam Thielen may be on the way out. Like he didn't really have he didn't have a 100-yard game this year, the entire season. He caught some touchdowns, don't get me wrong, but KJ Osborne, if we're looking at players that actually like made you go wow and that really took the pressure off Justin Jefferson, I think we could be seeing the last of, or at least the last bit of, Adam Thielen, and KJ Osborne potentially being the team's new number 2. And then you mentioned guys like Jalen Naylor as well too. I think Adam Thielen might be done.
Yeah, which is fine because, believe it or not, I saw Adam Thielen play when he was a freshman at Mankato, when he played Northern State.
Mm-hmm.
I should have got double that back then, but hindsight's 2020.
You can't beat yourself up. Like that guy, like coming out of Mankato, like he was amazing, but it's like this, it's a different jump from the NFL, or from that, what is it? The NSIC all the way up to then. And it's like, oh geez. And now this guy's, catching touchdown passes from, Kirk Cousins and stuff. So it's like, it's hindsight. You're right. It's 2020. I agree. You talk about the X factors. The most thing I'm worried about, Thomas, is the interior offensive line. Like the thing is like, they don't need to have an amazing game. Like Kirk Cousins, if you look statistically, when he's under pressure, like he actually is pretty good. Like if you can give him a couple of seconds to be able to get the ball out quickly. But I also think that's a scheme thing too. Like Kevin O'Connell, the rest of this offensive staff, they need to be able to get the ball out quickly, run the ball effectively. Obviously, I don't think they're going to run for 200 or 300 yards, but run the ball effectively, get the ball out of Kirk Cousins' hands pretty quickly. And I think the Vikings are going to be okay. Now, defensively, who are some players that you're like, for the love of God, please eat Wheaties this day. We need you.
Our 2 defensive ends, Za'Darius Smith and Danielle Hunter.
Yep.
Those guys have to produce.
Yep.
Yes. And Harrison Smith.
Yep.
I think this is the last season for Harrison Smith.
I hate to say it too. That's tough.
I know.
That's tough. He's an all-time great, Harrison Smith, though. Like he's a Ring of Honor guy. For whatever reason, there's a lot of people that talk to me and say, "Oh, I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer." He should be a Hall of Famer because what he's done with the Vikings and his numbers and everything. He's obviously he's not going to get like Paul Cruz type interception numbers, but he's Harry the Hitman. Like you can't you can't replicate that. And obviously, you hope Lewis Cine and all of them can pick up the slack when he's gone. But yeah, for a guy that's his last ride, I hope that Harrison Smith has a good game. I'm also like, Daniel Jones is one of those guys that usually, if this was a year or 2 ago, we wouldn't be that worried about it. But Brian Daboll and the rest of that Giants staff, they have been playing really well. He's probably played himself into a contract extension. And the rest of this Giants team is just like, this is a game, Thomas, you hopefully will agree with me on this. It's a game you can get got in. So everybody needs to have their good games and then hopefully go in the divisional round and play like there's no tomorrow.